To any mom who was in my situation, you're not alone in this.
To any mom, that was in my situation, that was needing to reach out and get help, I feel like the Majella House is honestly the best option.
For a parent going through the similar situation or a mom that I did, I would definitely say just pray and trust the process.
Hi, my name is Monique, and I came to the Majella House because I needed somewhere for me and my kids. I was an expecting mother, my fourth child, Malachi. I'm a baby boy, and I was dealing with not having anywhere to go once I had him. I was living with my mom at the time, and I became pregnant, and of course, already having two other kids, we were already cramped. I had to find somewhere else to go. My mom just didn't have the space, to provide for all of us. So I began to look, around town to see of any programs or any things that help with pregnant women. And there was no help at all until I got that referral one day of the Majella House. I came to the Majella House with nothing for Malachi. It was just such a relief to be able to bring him somewhere where I felt safe and, comfortable, because it was a difficult pregnancy. He was in the hospital 2 weeks before he came home. So just being able to not worry about where we would be coming to. I was so grateful and happy to have just my own bed and not where the kids had to sleep with me, their own beds and my own bathroom. I've always wanted my own personal bathroom and just having our own personal space versus being confined in one room and not really being able to move around. Just being able to go in the closet and put things up and get things out and come into the kitchen and cook what I want to cook for the kids and just taking them outside and letting them play, versus not wanting to letting them go outside to play because of the neighborhood or not really being able to go into the kitchen and prepare anything. And it's just a godsend for me. Daycare provided, daycare for King, getting Jerry set up in a different school, helping with the scholarship for him, and just helping me just through different avenues that I had no way of knowing how to do on my own without the Majella House's help. I was given a baby shower, my first baby shower, out of 4 pregnancies. So that was really a shock and a surprise to me to be able to have a baby shower. I never experienced one.
Hi, my name's Jessica. I was living in a trailer. It wasn't pretty much livable, so me and my mother, we started staying in a tent. I was about 6 months pregnant at the time, and it wasn't livable. It wasn't right, and I was fearing for not only my health, but also my daughter's. I had to look out for some other resources, and that's when I came upon the Majella House. I reached out, sent the application and everything, and they got back to me pretty fast to help me get over and into the Majella House, and it was pretty amazing, honestly. It was an emotional ride. It was scary, I'm not gonna lie, but it was amazing to have the sense of family and everything. Coming from being in a poor background, I didn't have much. I wasn't used to nice things. It was always me and my mom. So coming from somewhere that I'm gonna be by myself, not really knowing anyone, it was very scary. But everyone here was so welcoming. They were so nice and they were sweet. They gave me my privacy at first to let me get my bearings. Um, I remember that first night we all sat down at the table and had dinner, which is something that, I don't do. My family never really did. My mom and me, we usually just on the couch or something like that. So it was something else, They gave me the sense of home. I loved that I also had freedom. I had my own room. I had a bed to lay my head on. I had the security to know whenever my daughter would arrive, she would have a place to stay, somewhere safe, somewhere clean, a good environment. All the way up until I was in the hospital, it was time they induced me pretty early. I was 37 weeks. Everything went good. I told him, you know, it's happening, it's time. And, but even after having her, you know, the Majella house has always came through and helped me. They helped me with clothes. They helped me with diapers. If I just need someone to talk to, they're there.
Hello, my name is Courtney Hill. I was pregnant with my son and I was on bed rest, so I couldn't work anymore because I was contracting. I was going to early labor. I was at high risk. So I was staying with my mom at the moment, and me and her had a very bad falling out. So I left. And when I left, I didn't have anywhere to go. I had a dog, I had a 3-year-old daughter, and I was 7.5 months pregnant. So then I made a decision of depleting my savings. The $2,500 that I had went to stay at a extended stay and just went day by day with it. My mental state was scatterbrained. You know, every day I was there. My daughter never knew that we didn't have anywhere to go. You know, I asked different charities to help pay for our room because I don't have any more money to my name. I wasn't in a talking position with the father. We were no longer speaking. And so I was by myself. I had a referral through one of the charities from Majella house. They explained to me that they offered help for pregnant women that were homeless. So I called in, Mary Beth picked up the phone. They helped me look for a job remotely because, you know, I couldn't work. And so I would, you know, reach out with the front desk and it was like, no, there's nothing we can do. You can't use the Wi-Fi. We don't really have Wi-Fi. And I was like, okay, well, there's no extra money there. And she was like, well, we can do what we can for you. And they assisted me like every day. Every day, Miss Mary Beth helped me with everything. I mean, from food to what's the next step. We're just gonna take it day by day. Like I said, it was me, my daughter, and my dog. And I was pregnant with my son. So not once did my daughter ever know that we were struggling. You know, I made it the best experience possible. I made everything an adventure with my daughter, you know, and my dog. You know, we had the bestest time. But whenever she would lay down and go to sleep, I would literally look in the mirror and I would cry in the bathroom. I would break down in the shower, but I would make sure I would never let my daughter see me like that. Always. And I always told her, you know, we're gonna take everything day by day. It's gonna be fine. We're having a good time. And, you know, mommy loves you. Maybe we can go to the park, get ice cream, things of that nature. So to this day, she never knows the situation. Once I came out the hospital, I was at the hotel, I think another 3 to 4 weeks. No, I got out the hotel and then my mom called me. When she called me, she was like, I'm sorry, I want you to come back. I want to be a part of the situation with my grandchild. I moved back with her. I want to say for 3.5, 4 weeks. I got a phone call from area housing. I had put in for area housing 3 years ago when I was pregnant with my daughter, 2019. And they called me. I was on my way to register for school. And they said, are you still interested in an apartment? I said, yeah, I am. Just turned all the way around, went to the Morris Court apartments, and within a week I moved in to my apartment. And you know, ever since then, it's just been up and up. I'm now at Marina Court, and I'm currently in the process of closing on my house. Brand new house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I think the biggest thing Majella House did for me was emotional support. Emotional support and also financially, you know, helping with clothes. They gave me a baby shower at the hospital, and they blessed me with things that I could never imagine I could even deserve. You know, I didn't need for anything.
To any mom who was in my situation, you're not alone in this. You know, at first I was hesitant. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had so many like wonders and whys as to how this would be. And it's just a godsend.
If you're scared and you don't know where to go, you don't know who to reach out to, you know, this Majella house, it is amazing. You will have that sense of safeness, security. You'll have a family atmosphere, and you'll always have somebody there, even after you leave the Majella house, to look after you and help you.
For a parent going through the similar situation or a mom that I did, I would definitely say just pray and trust the process with the whole situation. You know, like I said, Philippians 4:13, I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You know, and with his strength, I was able to endure it all. Now I'm in a position where I'm in my master's program. I graduated May 2027 with business management. HR is my major. You know, a brand new house, I'm about to move in any day now. You know, it's just been a blessing. I just had to trust the process, stay humble. stay humble, walk on the what is it, the straight and narrow that they say.